Okay, so it started recording.
Is next.
Let me
Collaborative.
start it from the beginning. And let me put it in 2.0.
In this module, we're going to talk about groups and teams and organizations. Today, I'll start with a discussion on groups versus teams, how they're similar, and then how they're different. I'll talk about the benefits of using teams at work and how teams develop. Then in another video, we'll dive into an introduction to Patrick Lencioni's book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Let's get started.
I got you. I got you. Let me know how the meeting goes. Love you too. Bye.
Groups and teams are terms often used interchangeably, but they have distinct differences in their nature, purpose, and functioning. Here are the fundamental differences between groups and teams. First, let's look at the purposes and goals for each. Groups typically come together for information sharing, decision-making, or coordination of individual efforts. The purpose of a group is often to share information, ideas, or resources. On the other hand, teams have a collective purpose and shared goals that require collaboration and interdependence. The primary focus of a team is to achieve a specific task or project together. Next, let's compare and contrast interdependence of groups versus teams. In groups, members may work independently and contribute individually to the group's objectives. The level of interdependence is often low. Teams instead rely on high levels of interdependence, where members need each other's contributions and collaboration to achieve their common goals. Now, let's compare group roles with team roles. In groups, individual roles and responsibilities are often loosely defined. Members may have specific functions, but there's more flexibility in how they contribute. Teams have clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Each team member's role contributes directly to the team's overall success. Other differences exist with respect to decision-making. In groups, decision-making can be hierarchical, with one or a few members making decisions for the group. Alternatively, decisions can be made individually by each member. Teams often make decisions collectively through consensus, discussion, and collaboration. The input of each team member is considered when making decisions. What about communication? Communication in groups is often limited to information sharing and reporting. It may not require in-depth, ongoing communication. Conversely, effective and continuous communication is crucial in teams. They rely on open and frequent communication to coordinate efforts and share information. Accountability is where we see big differences. Individual accountability is often emphasized in groups. Members are responsible for their own tasks and contributions. Instead, teams emphasize collective accountability. The team as a whole is responsible for achieving its goals, and members hold each other accountable. In summary, the fundamental differences between groups and teams revolve around their purpose, interdependence, roles, decision-making, communication, accountability, leadership, and duration. Understanding these distinctions is crucial when deciding whether to utilize a group or a team approach in various organizational and collaborative contexts. If it makes sense, using teams in the workplace can offer numerous benefits, but it's important to understand when and why teams are most effective. Here are some reasons for using teams and the right conditions under which teams can be effective. Diverse skill sets. First, teams can bring together individuals with diverse skills and expertise, allowing them to complement each other's strengths and compensate for weaknesses. Problem solving. Next, teams can be highly effective at tackling complex problems that require multiple perspectives and creative solutions. Innovation is next. Collaborative teams often lead to increased innovation and fresh ideas. Different viewpoints can spark creativity and drive improvement. Improved decision-making. We often talk about the synergy of teams because teams can make more informed decisions by drawing on the collective knowledge and experience of their members. Efficiency. Teams can be highly efficient. They can distribute the workload, making it possible to accomplish tasks and projects more efficiently and quickly. Skill development. Teamwork can facilitate the development of interpersonal and communication skills, as well as leadership and collaboration abilities. Employee engagement. Finally, working in teams can boost employee morale and job satisfaction, leading to higher levels of engagement and commitment. There are task elements where a team is particularly important. When work tasks are sufficiently complex, such as launching a business in a new market, developing a new computer operating system, analyzing social listening on social media platforms, a team works really well. When the task is beyond the competencies of any one person, you need a group or a team. A team works well when work can be divided into specialized roles, and the people in specialized roles require frequent coordination with each other. Finally, a team works when there is interdependence between members of the team, and we can characterize these types of interdependence as pooled, sequential, or reciprocal interdependence. Let's look at the first type of interdependence, pooled. This exists when the tasks are dependent on the same pool of resources. In this case, team members work independently on their individual tasks and projects, and the outcome is a combination or pooling of their efforts. Pooled interdependence is often found in organizations where specialized professionals work on their respective tasks without direct collaboration. For example, in a customer service team in a call center, there may be customer service reps that deal directly with customers, tech support, and then supervisors. Each of these team members contributes something different to their work, but meeting customer needs can't succeed without those mutual efforts. This method is common in service industries, technology, industrial and manufacturing environments, and encourages both individual and team accountability. It's efficient when individual expertise is required and tasks can be performed independently. It allows for flexibility in task execution, but the downside of pooled interdependence is that it may lack the benefits of synergy and creativity that can come from more interdependent forms of collaboration. It can also result in reduced communication and shared learning among team members. The next type is sequential task interdependence, describing how tasks within a team are structured and sequenced. In teams with sequential task interdependence, the output of one member's work becomes the input for the next member's work. This means that the tasks are dependent on each other in a sequential fashion. In teams with sequential task interdependence, the workflow follows a specific sequence or order whereby each team member is responsible for a part of the process, and the work directly influences the work of the next team member. This interdependence requires a smooth transfer of information or materials from one task to the next, making coordination and communication critical. Consider a manufacturing assembly line at a car production facility. Each worker on the assembly line is responsible for a specific task that is part of the sequential process of building a car. The tasks include installing doors, attaching tires, placing the engine, and so on. The last type of task interdependence is reciprocal task interdependence, where team members work together and rely on each other's contributions. In this type of interdependence, the tasks or responsibilities are not strictly sequential, and team members collaborate as equal, frequently interacting and sharing information and resources. In teams with reciprocal task interdependence, they work together in a way that their tasks or roles are interrelated. The work team members do is interactive and mutually dependent. This interdependence requires ongoing collaboration and communication among team members as their contributions influence one another. A software development team can provide a good example of reciprocal task interdependence. In the development of a software application, programmers write code for various components of the software. Quality assurance testers test the code for bugs, errors, and functionality issues. User experience designers design user interface and user experience elements of the software. Project managers coordinate the project, set priorities, and ensure that deadlines are met. In this scenario, programmers depend on the feedback from the quality assurance testers to identify and fix those coding errors. User experience designers collaborate with programmers to ensure that the software's design and functionality align. Project managers rely on progress updates from all team members to manage the project effectively. The work of each team member is highly interdependent, and their contributions and interactions are crucial for the successful development of the software. The different team members don't work in isolation. Instead, they collaborate and rely on each other's expertise and input to achieve the common goal of creating a functional and user-friendly software product. Reciprocal task interdependence is common in knowledge-intensive, creative, and complex projects where multiple areas of expertise need to come together to produce a well-rounded outcome. Effective communication, cooperation, and coordination among team members are essential to ensure that their interdependent tasks are successfully integrated to achieve the project's objectives. Research has identified two dominant models of team development, Tuckman's model and the punctuated equilibrium model. They differ in their focus, structure, and application. Let me provide a comparison and contrast of the two. Tuckman's model primarily concentrates on the stages of team development and how teams evolve over time. It outlines a linear progression of forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning or mourning stages, which, to be honest, I don't like since it doesn't rhyme with the others. It follows a structured and sequential pattern with a clear progression from one stage to the next. In the forming stage, team members come together for the first time, and there's usually a sense of excitement and anticipation. Members are polite, and there may be some anxiety about what's expected. They tend to rely on the leader for guidance. The storming stage is characterized by increased conflict and tension. Team members start to voice their opinions and may challenge the leader or each other. This stage can be turbulent as members compete for influence. In the norming stage, the team begins to establish cohesion and a sense of unity. Conflicts are resolved, and members start to develop a common understanding. There's a growing sense of camaraderie. Key activities involve developing team norms and values, improving communication, and building relationships and trust. The performing stage is when the team is at its most productive. Members work together smoothly, make decisions effectively, and are focused on achieving the team's goals. In Tuckman's original model, he described the final stage as a journey, which signifies the disbanding of the team after the project or task is completed. In the revised model, it also known as the mourning stage, emphasizing the emotional aspects of the team's disbanding. Punctuated equilibrium is a concept borrowed from biology and evolutionary theory. In the context of teams, it emphasizes that groups can go through long periods of stability, equilibrium, punctuated by brief, intense periods of change and transformation. Punctuated equilibrium doesn't follow a rigid, predefined sequence of stages like Tuckman's model. Instead, it recognizes that teams can remain relatively stable for extended periods before experiencing significant, discontinuous shifts. It's a less specific model compared to Tuckman's. It's often used to understand how teams may stagnate, adapt, or radically change during their lifespan. It's especially relevant in situations where teams encounter sudden disruptive events or experience phases of inertia followed by rapid transformation. Both models acknowledge that change is inherent in the life cycle of teams and groups, and they both recognize the impact of external and internal factors on team dynamics. They have value in helping team leaders and members understand and manage different phases of a team's existence. Contrasting the two models, Tuckman's model offers a structured, step-by-step approach, while punctuated equilibrium is more fluid and less prescriptive. Tuckman's model explicitly identifies stages and transitions, whereas punctuated equilibrium focuses on long periods of stability and rare moments of rapid change. Tuckman's model is widely applied in various contexts for teams development and management, whereas punctuated equilibrium is a broader concept that can be applied to understand shifts in group dynamics, but is less specific in terms of practical guidance. In summary, Tuckman's model of team development provides a clear roadmap for team progression, while the concept of punctuated equilibrium offers a more flexible framework to understand how teams can experience stability, interspersed with dramatic, transformative events. The choice between the two models depends on the specific needs and context of the team or group being studied or managed. Today we've talked about when and how teams can be useful, as well as how they form and mature. Building a team is a process, and one that requires remarkable levels of discipline, courage, and persistence. Watch the next video in this module to explore team dysfunctions and learn about how to address each. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.